All those Asian truck companies are made more in America than the American ones are.
Really?
Nah, I don't know. I might have just made that up.
I do that a lot. Fight day.
Hey, it's fight day. I'm so excited. It's been too long. My last fight, I broke my jaw, so I had to take a long break to let everything heal. And now I'm healed, and I'm ready to get back in there.
So did you have problems eating after you got your jaw broke?
Yeah. This time, so this is the second time I've broken my jaw. It's still never been knocked out, but it's been broken a few times.
You've never been knocked out?
No.
Whoa, really?
Yeah.
How many fights?
Over 80 fights. Now, I've been TKO'd, I think, twice.
But you've never lost consciousness?
Never lost consciousness, not even in practice. In practice is the closest I've come, and that's Dan Henderson's my training partner.
Right.
He does them both stuff. He'll hit you, and you'll wave him off. Say, "Oh, sorry, you kind of went into it. I pulled it." Say, "Yeah, bullshit, you pulled anything. You just threw that."
You was telling me earlier that Dan Henderson actually delivered a liver shot to you.
Yeah. I've been hit with a liver shot twice, both in practices. One was a punch from Sean Strickland, and the other was a knee from Dan Henderson.
Let's talk about liver punches for a minute.
Okay. Yeah.
Why are liver punches so painful? And like they will put a fighter out like that. Like it takes a few seconds for it to kick in.
Yeah, it's funny. You can see that shot, and usually you'll hear the comments, "Oh, that was a good liver shot or a good stomach shot." 3, 2, 1, and then you collapse, and you are just done. I mean, I've only seen one person ever survive a fight in a liver shot. And it's really more the opponent's fault than the fighter's. It just paralyzes you. It's what the
How did he survive the liver shot?
The other boy kind of plowed into him, and so Jordan's name. Jordan just locked up under him, grabbed some legs, and just tried
Survived.
They didn't stop the fight, and he's right. They almost stopped it. Like, had they stopped it, I wouldn't have blamed him. But next round, Jordan came back, liver shot at him, finished the fight with it. Yep.
Really?
Oh, it was incredible.
What are the odds of having 2 liver shots in one fight?
He might be part of history. He might be the only time I've ever seen it's ever been done. He was. I mean,
Do you wear an Old Spice today?
I'm gonna go put it on here.
What kind of deodorant do you wear?
I see. It's what is it? The not the old. I mean, it is old.
Are you having problems remembering things? 80 fights will do that.
No. They say deodorant gives you Alzheimer's, right? Sean Strickland.
I don't think it's deodorant. I think it's like repeated headshots.
No, it could.
No, that's just Parkinson's.
There's no way. Yeah, Parkinson's. Aluminum deodorant gives you Alzheimer's.
And the breast cancer. I really think that's why there's like an increased number
of deodorant on your breast.
Well, no, but it's right there beside those lymph nodes.
Okay.
Right? Some women, I think, put deodorant underneath their breast. Like if they've,
I guess it would make sense.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have titties. Well, I do. I've got my boobs.
If I had boobs, I'd just never wear a shirt. You wouldn't have to worry about it.
I mean, if they look good enough, you could probably make money doing that.
That's what I would do.
Speaking of making money, being a man, you was telling me earlier that there was a fight production. Was it in Chattanooga where like they would fight and then
this was the OC Fight Club. So it was in Orange County out in California.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was a boxing and an MMA event. All in boxing, MMA. It was a really well run event. And after every fight, it was all in a ring. But after every fight, the audience would throw money at you if it was a good fight. If it was a boring fight, they'd throw less. But they'd throw.
So it's like an ugly stripper versus a good looking.
Yeah. Yes, exactly that. I walked out of there. Well, I cornered, so I picked it up for my fighter. He walked out of there $14 richer once. It was a good dollar. $14 richer. Yep.
Was that a shitty fight or a good fight?
I think it was a good fight. It was a good fight. He won. I finished him, knocked him out. He was great. They loved it. It was a boxing audience, so if he submitted them, they wouldn't give him anything.
See, my favorite way for a fight to start, speaking of good fights versus shitty fights, is I hate when, like, we've seen the fights where the fighters just circle each other for like an entire round, bro. And then even when he gets to the second round, like the second round will almost start off the same exact way. Like, what in the hell is going on there? Like, why would you not just rush in at that point?
They're scared of each other. That's got to be it. They both think they inched round 1 out, and so they got to play careful. They can't lose round 2. There's been a few fights like that. The title fight, Rose Namajunas versus Carla Esparza, maybe the worst fight in UFC history. And
That wasn't not too long ago, was
it's
it?
not. It was last year. I would think it was 25 minutes of them looking at each other, and then it was bad. If it were 3 rounds, it would have been a bad fight. 5 rounds, that extra 15 or 20, 10, 15,
Yeah.
10 minutes with the rest. It was just unwatchably boring.
Math is not Sam's strong suit.
It's the deodorant I put on my breasts. It's messing with my brain.
It's the breast deodorant. Wisconsin. So we talked about something yesterday. We was talking about beer, and we're going to have a beer after the fight tonight. We made a deal that if you get the head kick knockout, that we'll have a beer or whatever. And we was talking about Coors, and then it clicked with me last night after we were talking. You're from Wisconsin, so Spotted Cow,
It's up there.
bro.
It is.
That is some good beer. If you've never been to Wisconsin, Spotted Cow beer is the way to go.
Yeah, it's funny you know about it. Not many people know about spotted beer.
So my friend Jeremy Littell owns Kick-Ass Beef Jerky Company, and whenever he comes to the races with me at Bristol or wherever, he will always bring me a couple cases of Spotted Cow. He brought me my first case last year, and I was like, bro, anytime we're together, you've got to bring me some of this stuff.
Yeah.
So I've been talking to him, and I'm wanting to get him to ship me a whole pallet of Spotted Cow.
People, they have it. They never go back.
It's good.
They're addicted to it.
It's very good. What is the root word of addicted?
Ad.
Sure it's not dick.
It might be different. I just didn't want to say it. I'm a G-rated fighter.
G-rated. Should I keep this G-rated?
No, we're doing good.
So, speaking of being a G-rated fighter, I want you to tell me one person throughout human history that you would like to fight.
See, you know, you take the famous ones, but you take Jesus, it's not much of a fight.
You're trying to take Jesus? I feel like he would be like,
he's taken. I mean, he's my Lord and Savior. I've taken him as that. I might as well take him in the ring. No, he's a pacifist, isn't he? Well, no, actually, he wasn't. He slapped the shit out of some people more than once.
yeah, he flipped over the money changers tables in the temple. And I kind of feel like with him being a carpenter, he would like come into the ring like Hacksaw Jim Duggan with the 2x4. Oh!
Yeah, and we all know Jesus doesn't tap. So,
No.
yeah,
Fantastic.
damn.
No.
So I'm not fighting him.
Samson?
Samson would be great.
Hair or no hair?
You got to go no hair. It's an unfair. It's like a PED, that hair.
He pulled the pillars down with the hair.
He
Blind.
tied him up. Now, how would you? The kings that tied him up, they figured it out. Oh, it's his hair. They let his hair grow back. I mean, you'd think they'd have a barber on staff. Anytime he gets a little bit, shave him. We don't want him getting out. But no, they just, he'll be fine.
Horrible execution. Horrible execution.
Terrible.
So who is one fighter, talking fighter-wise, right, that you would not ever want to fight?
Until last week, my answer would have been Francis Ngannou.
Really?
He's the most terrifying man that's ever stepped.
Oh, wait, I know why you want to fight him.
Yeah, now I would fight him in a heartbeat. $2 million to lose to him. That is, and I wouldn't go in there to lose. I would go in there to try and kill him. I'm just aware I would probably lose.
What about Tyson in his prime?
I'm bigger than he is. I don't hit nearly as hard as he does. But in MMA, I'd just take him down and I'd wrestle him. I'd have to. There'd be the first 5 seconds of me getting from one corner to the middle with him, but it would be like a dead sprint into a shot and just trying to.
Like you're just trying to, yeah.
Yep. And if he gets away, if he sprawls real hard, I'm in trouble.
I wonder how hard he would be able to throw a punch on his back.
I bet you wouldn't know how to do it. Hey,
No?
You don't get a ton of power from your back.
No, because you use your hips a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, you can only start with your arm from the mat, so you can't even get a rotation. I've seen knockouts from the back happen, but not often.
So I'm a hitting coach, baseball and softball.
Yeah.
Right? And I've always said that throwing a punch is a lot like swinging a baseball bat. You generate all that power with your lower half and your hips. So yeah, if your hips aren't moving.
That's Dan Henderson. He didn't want to be a fighter. He didn't want to be a wrestler. He wanted to be a baseball player. He played baseball his entire life, and he credits baseball to being why he has his H-bomb, why he has the power in every punch. Is he from throwing and batting and everything.
Loads it up right there, and then Shakira said it's all in the hips, all about the hips.
What Megan Trainor said? It's all about that base.
Oh, I thought, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking bass. I like fish. You fish?
I do, not recently, but
You prefer catfish? bass?
I love catfish. Love
Really?
catfish. I do. The first fish I ever caught was a catfish.
Really?
Yep.
Have you ever been catfished?
No. You might not know. I married my first girlfriend. Yeah. My wife and I, we've been together for 17 years. I think we're at 8 months. And
Y'all been together that long?
yeah, we've been married for over 10, but we've been together for 17 years, 9 months. And yeah. And, for only girl I've ever dated, only
That's
girl I've ever
weird.
kissed.
Because, you and I have been friends for about a year now. And when you talk about you and her, or like, your past fighting or whatever, you always talk about it like it just happened yesterday. So it's hard to keep a timeline with you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I've had so many fights, and every fight is its own little experience, but I could tell you every opponent I've ever fought. My wife could tell you the date I fought every opponent, but
Really?
I know every place. I know where it was. I probably could tell you who the referee was if I know who the referee is.
Okay, so going back to your fight tonight, okay? It's on
It'll be on Fight Pass, or not, fighttv.com.
FightTV.com at 7 p.m.
7
Eastern.
p.m. Eastern is the first fight. I am the co-main event. I think there's 13 or 14 fights.
Right. And you're fighting Big Mac.
Big Mac.
Big Mac's 82 Big Macs. He's a big old boy.
He's a big old boy. I was excited. I saw our square off photo, and I'm not bigger than him, but I'm bigger than him. Like, I should be bigger than him.
Right.
He should be smaller.
He looks like a pretty dense guy.
He does.
He's got some density to him.
Yeah, I wanted to, the F5 from Brock Lesnar. I wanted to F5 him. I don't think I'd be able to get him up.
Dude, you ain't getting him up. That's 267?
267, yeah.
267, and you weighed in at
230 even with my bridges on.
230 even with your hot dog britches. We'll throw a picture up of his hot dog britches. So, football coaches script their first few plays, right? Like maybe first 10 plays, they know what they're doing. Like, and I'm not trying to get you to tell me what you're doing going in, you're a coach, so I told you what to do, of course.
Off like we discussed, flying bell rings, flying triangle.
No, you should crawl up the side of the cage and then try to like Zelo frog splash.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
5-star frog.
Yeah.
I think it would work. It could.
Do you know going into this fight what you're going to do as soon as that bell rings?
When the bell rings, it's not so much a matter of knowing what you're going to do. It's your body just takes over. You do what you've drilled. I know what I want to do. I know what I've drilled over and over and over and over again. And I know what my tendencies are. At this point, I got a million fights. Everybody has seen me fight. If he wanted to watch any, he could watch me get beat up. He could watch me beat someone up. He could watch it all. So he knows what my tendencies are. During camp, I try and break my tendencies, try and create new tendencies. And when that bell rings, I'm hoping my new tendencies, I drill them enough. I've done everything I need to enough to get in there and beat them up.
Okay. So what is the bloodiest fight you've ever had?
So I fought Carl Amasu. I fought him in Springfield, Missouri. And it was my first fight in Bellator. Bellator did not want me in their organization. They said, all right, if you win 3 fights, we'll put you in our tournament. They had a $100,000 tournament. We'll put you in the tournament. So I went out, I won 3 fights. They said, okay, well, you're not going in the tournament. You have to beat someone in Bellator, and then we'll put you in the tournament. So, okay, whatever you want. They put me up against Carl Amasu, who was the predicted winner of the tournament. They wanted him in there. And round 1, he beat the hell out of me. We came out, he threw me, and it broke a rib. He was a judo black belt. He tossed me good. I landed hard, and broke the ribs. And so I turned into him. So, oh, again, the fight. It's about the first time I've ever felt pain in a fight. I turned, so I turned away because I had to try and get up. And he postured up, and boom, he cut me twice on the side of my head. And it was, at the time, it was the bloodiest fight in Bellator history.
Really?
At the end of the round, I swept back on top. I got on top, and I was just hitting whatever I could. There's blood everywhere. And I remember the thought comes like, I don't remember hitting him. Where is he bleeding from?
And it was you.
And the bell rang. I went back to my corner, said, he's bleeding. I said, no, you're bleeding. That was my wife, and Dean Lassiter was the cut man. He came, and he was patching me up, and he did a great job. Patched me up. There's no more blood, and then I won rounds 2 and 3.
Really?
Yeah, well, won the fight, but it was, at the time, it was the bloodiest fight in Bellator history.
You're such a nice fighter, though. Like, have you ever bloodied somebody up? Like, one of my favorite things to watch is when a fighter just beats the living hell out of somebody, right? And there's blood, and then they lick the blood off their gloves.
So I told you about my MMA debut yesterday, amateur, where I knocked his face across the mat.
Yep.
My last fight as an amateur, I fought. It was a heavyweight tournament, 3 fights in one night.
Okay.
I'm one of the few fighters left that have done fights in the same night. Last fight, main event, it turned out to be the main event, is me against Big Papa Martinez. He's a policeman. We got in there, and I hit him. And my wife was caged out. I hit his nose. His nose was 3 different states by the time I was done. It knocked blood all over my wife and the judges and everything on the outside of the cage. Boom, blood. He ended up pinning me for the rest of the round. I knocked him out in round 2 with elbows. I am such an old fighter. Amateurs could elbow. So I knocked him out with elbows in round 2. And it was... my wife couldn't get over. Said, "Why would you do that? There's blood all over me. You just do it the other way." That was one of the bloodiest fights I've ever been responsible for.
You're an opportunist. Whichever way you can blow that nose out. Which always blows my mind that when a fighter gets their nose broke, right? I've had my nose broke before. You can kind of tell. When you get your nose broke, your eyes water up so bad, right?
Too, yeah.
So have you ever had your nose broke in a fight?
So I actually just made a video about this on my YouTube a few days ago. Oh, last week. I broke my nose one time in my life, and I did it bowling. He took a bowling ball to the dome. I did. I still won the game.
What in the hell kind of bowling was y'all doing?
He was drunk. He was really drunk. And yeah, he was really drunk. And he was going to teeter. He was going to fall. I was going to trip him. So I'm going to trip you, and it's going to be hilarious, and everyone's going to laugh. And instead of tripping him, he hit me in the face with a bowling ball on his backswing. Boom, caught me. He dropped me. I mean, I went down hard, holding everything. He threw the ball in the gutter. He walked over me, having no idea he had hit me with anything.
Really?
Yep. I then told my other buddy who was with us, I need a napkin badly. I mean, he went and brought me a napkin. I said, "Dude, I need lots of napkins. Give me freaking
You're over there
everything."
bleeding like a stuck hog, and he's like, "Here's the napkin."
So I'm holding it to my face. I finish the game. I win the game with like a 40. Holding my nose closed, bowling. My buddy, my sober buddy, he drives me home. Drives Evan home, my drunk buddy. Drives us home. I get home. I puke in the bathroom. Then I put a Band-Aid on. I go to bed. I wake up.
You didn't go to the hospital?
Oh, no, God, no. I didn't go to the hospital for like 3 days.
How bad was your nose?
Oh, it was not.
Was it flat?
No, it's still crooked.
Yeah, I can see that now, yeah.
It was just, I had cuts. There was a cut there and a cut across the rim. And I woke up the next morning, like the Band-Aid did nothing. I peeled the pill off my face. And I walked over, my dad was on the computer over there, so I was home for summer. I walked over and he looked at me, "What the hell did you do? Your mom's going to be pissed." Yeah.
See, you being a fighter, if I would have ever noticed that your nose was crooked, I would have just assumed a fight.
Never broke
bowling.
a fight.
You're the first person I've ever known to break their nose bowling.
Yeah, it was. It was Thanksgiving week. I went down to my girlfriend's place, my wife now, my girlfriend's house, and I met her family. My face was just 6 different shades of black and blue. So I had to explain to them that was all my friend and this and that. I spent the night over there. I woke up the next morning. Now, you break your nose, the blood eventually pools. I woke up and like the left side of my face was swollen shut the next day. Say, "Oh, it pulled." Say, "We got to go to the hospital." So we went to the doctor. And then the doctor just made fun of me. He said, "Yeah, if you would have come in after you broke it, I could have straightened it, but that's your nose now. Dumbass." Say, "Well, okay." My wife still doesn't believe that I was sober. She still believes it. I said,
so you wasn't drunk?
No, I was sober as a fox. My buddy was 3 sheets to the wind.
I would assume since you didn't, do the adult thing and go to the hospital, you was hammered.
No, not at all.
Because if you're in the military, I'm speaking from personal experience here. If you're in the military and you get hurt while you're drunk, you sober up first. And otherwise, you're in trouble for an alcohol-related incident,
Yeah, no, I didn't have a drink, nothing. I was just bowling my buddies.
Wow.
Yeah, it was my bad.
So we've got to be over at the venue at 4:30.
Yep.
Right. The entire card doesn't start until 7.
Yeah.
What are we doing that entire time? Because I know what you're already planning on doing.
Oh yeah.
The first time we met, we did a video in the octagon, and you put me on my ass.
Oh, we're sparring again. You get round 2. I get round 2.
Oh, I don't know about sparring. Maybe, my cardio ain't up.
It's okay. You won't need it. You won't make it past the first minute, my friend. I got to warm up. I got a pair of gloves for you. I even got shin guards if you want.
What if I just let you put me to sleep?
Oh, we can do that too.
That'd be way easier on my cardiovascular system.
You'd get a good nap out of it. You'd be awake the rest of the night.
Yeah.
All right. I like that. Reading that.
I've actually got an idea on the video we could do where you put me to sleep.
All right. Count me in. I'm in.
Count me out. Okay. 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock tonight Eastern. Fight TV for the B2 Fighting Series.
Let's do it. Y'all stay classy, stay out of trouble. Sam Alvey, Justin Danger, out.